Hello, boys and girls. I hope you are doing well today. Now we are continuing in lesson 2, class 10, 2023. And then now today we'll be covering that is a multiplication of a binomial and trinomial. And number 2, we'll be looking at factorization to include types of that is taught in grade 9, and trinomials, grouping in pairs, sum and difference of two cubes. And number 3 will be also looking at simplifying, adding and subtracting algebraic fractions using factorization. Okay, so now I want us to look at the first one, that is a multiplication of a binomial and a trinomial. So now under multiplication of a binomial and a trinomial, so we'll be looking at the product of two binomials. That is, in the product of two binomials, we'll be applying the method that is known as FOIL method, and then can be used to multiply two binomials. That is, F stands for first and O stands for outers, I inners, L last. So e.g., let's look at those brackets. So if we have A plus B and close brackets and open, C plus D, and then is equal to, so that means A is going to multiply with C. So here that first comes from, because A, it is the first letter, or it is the first term here, and then C also it is the first term, and D. So we take first and first, which is A times C, and then which is AC. And then let's look at O outers. So that is from A times D. So A is out and as well as D is out, so we multiply them together, we get AD. And then we look at inners. So inners, that is B and C, so which is B times C is going to be BC. And we also look at last, so which is B times D, which is going to be BD. So this is how we apply this, or this is how we use this method, which is known as FOIL method. And then the last one, that is the product of a binomial and a trinomial method, revised above, which is this one. So it can be extended product of a binomial and a trinomial. So for example, so let's say we have x plus y into and a plus b plus c. So we just extended that brackets. So now we're having how many terms? We're having 3 terms there. So how do we then go about multiplying or opening these brackets? So we want to take a times this brackets, which is going to be a into x plus y. And again, we go over b multiplied by this brackets, which is going to be b into x plus y. And the last one is going to be c times, again, this brackets, which is going to be c into x plus y. So we just open these brackets by multiplying by each coefficient. Well, so the coefficient of the first one, which is a, the second one b, the third one c, which is a times x, which is ax, a times y, ay, b times x, bx, and b times y, which is by, c times x, cx, and c times y, which is cy. Now I want us to look at the first example to illustrate this. Wonderful. Now let's look at these questions, that how do we then go about expanding and simplifying the following questions. So if you want, you can pause the video and try to work out this question and then see the answer. Now let's look at the first one, solution. So in the first one now says, now we want to expand this and simplify. So whenever we want to expand this, we're going to apply that FOIL method. So FOIL method is saying that we must multiply, that is the first. So first is going to be x times x, x times x, and x times 2, and 3 times x, and 3 times 2. That's FOIL method. Then now x times x is going to be x squared, and x times 2 is going to be plus 2x, and 3 times x is going to be plus 3x, and 3 times 2, which is going to be plus 6. And then now we have expanded here, and then we simplify. So by simplifying, we want to check the common terms here, the terms that are the same, and then we add them or we separate them. So remember, if the signs are the same, we add. Okay, so here we drop x squared because no other term here that is the same as this one, so we just drop this one as it is. Therefore x, 2x plus 3x, so it's going to be 5x. And then we drop 6 here as well, because no other term which is the same as 6 here. So this is our answer. And then now let's go over in number 2, and then check that how do we then go about expanding this one. 3y minus 1 and 2y plus 4. So this one, so we're going to again use FOIL method, which is 3y times 2y, 3y times 2y, and 3y times 4, and 1 times 2, and 1 times 4. Let's go. So 3y multiplied by 2y. Remember, this sign is positive and this one is positive, so therefore positive times positive. So positive times positive is going to give you positive. Negative times negative is going to give you positive. And negative times positive is going to give you negative. Either way, positive times negative is going to give you negative. So you must be aware of this. Please, guys, do not make mistakes here. So 3y multiplied by 2y is going to be 6y squared. And then 3y multiplied by 4 is going to be plus, because 4 is positive and as well as 3 is also positive. But how many 3's that make 4 goes into 4? So that is 3 times 4 must be 12y. And then we go over here now. So it's going to be negative times positive. So we say negative times positive must be negative. So which is negative times positive must be minus. And 1 times 2, definitely it is 2y. And then negative again times positive is going to be negative. And then 1 times 4 is just simply 4. And then now we add like times. Alright, so here it's going to be 6y squared, and then 12y minus 2y. So 12 minus 2, definitely it is 10. Okay, so it's going to be 10y. But whenever the signs are not the same, you have to subtract, and then when you subtract, then you take the sign of the bigger number. So that means our 10 must be positive, and we simply drop minus 4, and then we're done. Okay, so simple as that, guys. So I want us now to look at number 3, and then as well as number 4. Wonderful. Now let's proceed to number 3. Again, we'll be following FOIL method. Now we're going to say 2x times x, which is 2x times x, and 2x times 3, and minus 4 times x, and minus 4 times minus 3. Okay, let's go. So 2x times x is going to be 2x squared, and then 2x times minus 3y. Remember, if you multiply positive times negative, negative times positive is minus. Either positive multiplied by negative is going to be negative. And then now that means our answer, if we say 2x times 3y is going to be negative 6. It's going to be negative 6xy. Guys, please, whenever you write letters here, you must write them alphabetically. And then now we go over here, minus 4 times x is going to be negative 4x. And then minus 4 times 3. Remember, negative times negative, it's positive. So negative times negative, it's plus. 4 times 3 is definitely 12y. Okay, then we also look at the common factors or terms that are common. And then we just drop 2x squared. And then we have this is 4y and this is 6y. So that means now there are no terms here which are common. And then let me just check that if oh, in number three, sorry guys, there is 2x minus 4y, so I forgot to put that 4y there. Sorry about that. 4y there. So therefore 4y times x, so here it should be 4xy. Okay, so that means now we have like terms. So minus 6xy and minus 4xy. Remember, when the sign that is saying we add, so that means it must be negative 10xy, and then we just drop that positive 12y as it is. So now let's look at number 4 quickly. So number 4, now we have expanded the binomials and the trinomials. So let's look at this one together. So here we have x squared minus 3xy plus 2y squared. Right, and then this one, it's easy, guys, because we're going to take the first term here and then we multiply these brackets. We take the second one, we also multiply these brackets, and we take the last one and we do the same, multiply these brackets. Let's go together. So that means it's gonna be x squared minus y, and then we take this one, we also multiply the same brackets, which is going to be minus 3xy into x minus y. And then again we go over in the last term and then we do the same. So it's going to be plus 2y squared into x minus y. So now we're done. So now the next step is just to expand each bracket with the coefficient. So now we're going to multiply x squared times this one, x times y, and same applies there, and so on, as well as that term. So it's going to be x squared, so it must be x squared times x must be x cubed, and then x squared times minus y must be negative x squared y. And then here it's going to be negative 3xy times x must be negative 3x squared y. Remember, there are two x's here, so it should be squared. And then must be negative times negative y must be plus 3xy squared. And then now we go over the last term, so it's going to be 2y squared times x, so must be plus 2xy squared. Remember, we named them alphabetically. So then we go in the last one, 2y squared times y. So it's going to be negative because 2 is positive and y it is negative. Remember, positive times negative, it is negative. So it's going to be minus 2y cubed. Right. Then now we look at the common factors, common terms. This one, do we have any x cubed here? No. So we just drop this one as it is. And then let's look at x squared y. So here is x squared y.